Everyone, welcome to another CSI Tasting Room. We are trying out what might be the end-all be-all carb formula, low glycemic index with PeakO2 today on this episode with a special guest, co-CEO, co-founder himself, Rodney Dupont. Rodney, give us a wave if you don't mind.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you very much for coming on. Truly, we appreciate it. I've got Kyle Adams and Chaz Jones backing me up on this one. You've been a massive supporter of Compound Solutions ingredients. You are well recognized on social media platforms as chief formulator. You've been doing this for so long. Before we get into, talking about XCEED specifically, what's your mission, man? What you got going on in life with Nutrabolics and everything that you have going on?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Chris. I mean, I started Nutrabolics about 20 years ago. This is our 20th year with my business partner, Jason Weiner. And we're currently distributed in over 40 different countries. I think we've done, probably more high-level endorsements than any other brand in the entire space. Most recently with UFC champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. And we're just here to put out, what we think are the best supplements on the planet. 100% transparent, fully dosed, using some of the best ingredients, including some of the best patented ingredients from guys from compounds. We love your ingredients, we love the science behind it, and we love the backing that you guys offer.
Kyle, you brought up innovation, okay? And I think innovation, Rodney, you've probably specifically seen change in 20 years drastically. When we look at a lot of your formulas, we see ingredients that really aren't very popular. And then when we see those ingredients, 9 times out of 10, I usually see the clinical version of those ingredients. Do you have an idea of a philosophy or maybe what innovation means to you, today in present day?
Yeah, for us, I mean, it's we don't put out a product unless we believe it's best in class, and so we're always looking to update our formulas with new, innovative ingredients, stuff that's never been seen before. We're constantly working on R&D, to see what we can bring to market. And even if with this XCEED, I mean, we took a category that we all love, endurance, and it's just been really a dead, stagnant category with lacking any innovation whatsoever. And so with the ingredients that you guys have, with PeakO2 and Carb10 that are just amazing, for endurance and anaerobic activity, lactic acid, I mean, we just saw an opportunity. We knew that we wanted to make it best in class, use full dosages, and come up with, a kick-ass endurance product that's never been done before.
I almost wish we could just try the entire lineup, on this episode right now. I don't think we'd have enough time, unfortunately. Kyle and Chaz, I'll have you both talk about your initial effects of the flavor. And then I'll go over, I've been able to use it 3 days now for actual workout. 16 to 20 ounces with your, water or so.
So I ended up doing right about 14 ounces, to be honest with you, because I like a strong pungent flavor.
Kyle?
Good question. I'm at about 12 ounces. Man, I just scoop and pour. I'm at about 12 ounces, so it should be a strong flavor.
It's gonna be strong.
I love
okay.
raspberry, so I'm rocking the raspberry, the iced raspberry. So I think it'll be awesome.
Awesome. I got peach mango. Chaz?
Peach mango.
All right, guys. Cheers.
This is not one product you want to dry scoop, just an FYI.
29.
That was a good challenge.
Oh.
Man, that's good.
Wow.
We can talk about that dry scoop, and it'd be a little different.
That mixes well. It's smooth.
Yeah.
That flavor is excellent. That's for people that don't realize, that's 1.5 grams of PeakO2, which is mushrooms, right? It's very earthy. I don't think you guys can see, but this is colored well. It's raspberry. It's pink. It's not brown. It's 1.5 grams, which is killer, right? We'll get to that saturation point even quicker. Before we're through this whole tub. And it just tastes freaking awesome, Rodney.
Thank you. And that mixability is definitely something we're really proud of. The 1.5 grams of PeakO2, but I mean glycerol, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. I mean, that's a nasty product at times. That's got
absolutely
issues, that's got grittiness issues. And so what we've actually sourced is it's a 90% stable glycerol, which is best in class. It's 40% more saturated than anything else on the market.
And might I add that I'm impressed because there's not a single clump in the powder.
Yeah.
Like normally when you obviously know if you open up a product with glycerol, you don't normally get such a fine powder out of it. So hats off to you there.
We often talk about endurance in the category, and Rodney kind of talked about how a lot of products have just been very stagnant for far too long. This type of electrolyte formula, which is included in this blend, you will 99% of the time see carbohydrate products, never with any electrolytes. So to kind of get that in addition there, I think is just a nice, just very classy add-on.
We definitely wanted electrolytes, but we wanted to keep it a clean formula. I mean, I love all three of these ingredients. I don't think there's any other ingredients better than these three ingredients for endurance. You know, I mean, this category has been so stagnant. I mean, people are still taking those gel packs and, you know, high, simple, you know, simple carb. I mean, I think the endurance category is definitely on the come up, especially with COVID. I mean, probably, you know, how many guys are, you know, on their Peloton this morning, you know, what do you take, right? I mean, you don't want a high caffeine pre-workout. You don't want, you know, a high simple carb powder. So, you know, there is no real performance product like this. You know, I mean, it's perfect for endurance.
Fortunately for me, I've been able to try the product 3 days now. I usually train fasted. So normally products, foods, ingredients, whatever, hit me to, you know, an extent that I can almost kind of understand everything about it. I was naturally worried about when you hear carb product, right? You're like, okay, well, if I train fasted, is it going to spike my blood sugar? Is it anything with insulin? Carb10 is super clean. So even at the full serving, I have no, you know, massive crash with sugar. I have no spike. It's just very consistent. And what Rodney talked about too is that glycerol. Until you try it, you're going to notice this pump and you're like, okay, what the heck? So for me, I found a really good recipe of actually being able to have half of this right before I train and then just drink the rest during. And I loved it. That was my favorite way of doing it so far, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I don't know if many people realize, but I mean, glycerol was a banned WADA ingredient up until 2018, you know, so a lot of, you know, sports athletes, endurance athletes, competitive athletes, they never had the ability to try this ingredient. So, I mean, it's off the WADA list right now, and it's unreal, you know, I mean, it's really an amazing ingredient, and it's this 90% stable one, like, it's wow, you know, like, it's that special. We're really proud of it. The Carb10, like, wow, you guys really, like, that's next level. You know, I don't know if you know this, but we were actually the first to introduce Carb10 here in Canada, first to market with our keto carb product. We love it. You know, I mean, doesn't spike your blood sugar, doesn't spike your insulin, and you just need such a, you know, you need a low dose to get the effects that you would with like 200 grams of other carb products. You know, we've got a competitive bodybuilder named Henry Pierre-Ano. He competes at the Olympia, and he takes 20 grams of Carb10, and that's all he needs. I mean, the guy is a monster. I mean, he's used to taking 200-300 grams of malto or dextrose post-workout, 20 grams, and he's full. You know, like, it's just a great carb product for endurance, for energy, for recovery. Like, you guys really, like, the next level. And it's you know, and it's plant-based, vegan, natural, right? Like, what's better than that?
Kyle, would you agree? He starts next week. We'll see him at Compound headquarters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rodney, come on over. Every Nutrabolics has is next level. So thank you for continuing innovation for the industry, man. It's like formulation with a purpose. It's not like you just took 15 ingredients, threw it in here, and called it like a fully loaded like pre-workout or endurance product. Like, you formulate with a purpose, and so I appreciate that, and I think the industry appreciates that, man. And the innovation over 20 years. You know, so many people that started 20 years ago that you started up against are still using the same formulas they had in 2000. And so their innovation is like, let's switch from arginine to citrulline. We'll call that innovation.
We also like to do things different, you know, like
I love that.
You know, and so it's like PeakO2's, you know, another ingredient, like, wow, you know, like, we've actually transitioned out of beta alanine, everything in our product line, and we've gone strictly PeakO2. Like, we think it's a superior ingredient. You know, the loading phase, you know, the loading phase of PeakO2 is 28 grams. I think the loading phase of beta alanine is it 156 or
172? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, it's just lower dose, better effects, natural ingredient. Like, it's, you know, we love it. You know, we've got it in our XCEED, we've got it in our Supernova. We've got 2 grams of PeakO2. We just got our NPN, which is our Canada regulation, on our new upcoming recovery product, Anabolic State Elite. We're going to have a whopping dose of PeakO2. So, I mean, we're not sprinkling it in. We're using the highest dose of PeakO2 legally allowed here in Canada, and I think the highest dose in the industry. So, I mean, we love the ingredients you guys come out with, and, you know, I mean, PeakO2 too. It's like, wow.
How did you hear that? He used the word sprinkle in, but I don't think he realized he just sprinkled in a new product teaser release.
Yeah, he did.
Anabolic State Elite, Rodney. You don't need to go any further, but I caught it. Totally picked up on it.
Rodney, again, thank you for doing this because as you had mentioned, with Carb10, you have a full 20 grams built into this puppy. And as Chris had said, and as Rodney mentioned, what's really nice about this is whether you're doing anaerobic or aerobic exercise, it's very light on the stomach, which I love. It doesn't sit heavy. It empties the gastric by, I think they even said 15 to 20 minutes. So it's literally emptying your gastric path very, very quickly. Going into glycerol, we have 3 full grams, that 90% glycerol. So we're talking about not only just a hydration component, but a massive pump ingredient too. So adding a Carb10 and glycerol 90, and then topping it off with 1.5 grams of PeakO2 to that added endurance component and power component, increased VO2 max. So like any type of athlete, any person that's looking for endurance, anything looking for extra power, this type of a full profile of XCEED is really going to get you to what you want. And what's really nice too is a lot of people are looking for non-stim pre-workouts nowadays. This would be a great complement to that style of a product too. I know my wife doesn't do stims, so this is going to be one of the big products in her regimen now. And then even to top it off, as Chris had mentioned, there's a full-blown electrolyte, potassium, calcium, magnesium built in. So you literally have a lot of things that you need, especially for performance and hydration. So hats off to you, Rodney, for the formulation. And hey, we're humbled to hear all the great things you have to say about it.
I mean, the pump category has definitely been on a comeback, and I mean, you stack this with the pump product, like, I don't think most people are used to doing any sort of stacking like that, but you stack glycerol or Carb10 and PeakO2 with a pump product, and I mean, you're getting engorged, right? Like it's it's next level, right? So I mean, yeah, endurance, pump, intra-workout, recovery, it's a great all-around product. And yeah, I mean, for people who are used to taking, gel packs or high simple sugar carbs and stuff like that, like this is a whole nother level. Yeah, and honestly, we really appreciate you guys we wouldn't have this product without Compound, so I mean, Chaz, you're great. Matt is just a legend in the space. What he does for our industry, I don't think he gets recognition enough, but you guys are you're the leaders for a reason.
Like it and love it. Flavor and formula.
Do it.
Okay, Kyle, I'm actually going to start with you on this one. It was your first try today. Chaz, it was also your first try. Let's go for flavor to start both of you. Kyle, going first. Flavor on this one, like it or love it.
Man, I think we, first off, the formula is obviously killer, so we talked about that, but we overlooked the flavor of this, which is fantastic. It's smooth, it mixes well, it tastes good. It's not too light on flavor, but it's not too strong on flavor, which sounds crazy. It's like my porridge isn't too cold, it's not too hot, it's just right. That's kind of this, right? Like you don't drink it and pucker, but you don't drink it and go, shit, I'd like for that to taste better. I'd like for it to taste like something. It's like a iced raspberry. Like this tastes good. It reminds me of like a Kool-Aid or a juice I would buy at a store. I'm not even kidding. That sounds insane, but it's that good of flavor. So it's refreshing. It tastes good. So I absolutely love the flavor. And the formula, obviously, I love, right? It's well thought out. It's formulated for a purpose. It's extremely well dosed. So love it on both for me.
Obviously, we talked about formula. Formula is stellar. What I like too is you didn't go above and beyond with like 60 different ingredients. It's simple to the point, but you have, like you said, you didn't sprinkle anything in. Formula is absolutely phenomenal. When it comes to flavor, I was caught off guard because, especially knowing that you guys utilize stevia in here, typically you can taste that. You don't taste any stevia whatsoever, I've got to admit. And on top of it, so like I said, I did less than what they recommend with water. So I did about 12 ounces. And ironically enough, how Kyle had mentioned, it almost has a juice flavor. Like it actually had almost like a creamy consistency because of the Carb10. Peach mango flavors on par. So for this style of ingredient or profile of ingredients, tastes very, very good. I love it.
For me, I have to bring up a kind of a unique point. Now that I snuck a sample of Rodney's XTC, I have to also kind of talk a little bit about flavor consistency. I have the peach mango in that one as well. A lot of times I've noticed the brands, one peach mango on their product will taste absolutely nothing like a peach mango on their other product. And that's to be understandable if you're maybe comparing a pre-workout, so say they did it in a protein or something. But with ingredients that are I wouldn't say the most difficult to flavor, but definitely do have some kind of resistance there. The XCEED and his XTC taste incredibly similar. So I love that the flavor consistency is there. You're like, man, this is going to taste like the peach mango I'm looking for. The gentleman brought up, no question, juice format. That is exactly what I think when I think this. I'm just kind of sipping it down. It's nice, it's smooth, it's got a little bit of texture and consistency. It's great. So for formula and flavor, I'm gonna give it a 11 on both, especially because I've been able to try it and kind of figure out an early on sweet spot that actually works perfect for me in my training.
XCEED we're really proud of. We just launched it here in Canada. We've got our international rollout scheduled for this month. So look for it online and at all major retailers. And then, like I mentioned earlier on, we just got our NPN for our Anabolic State Elite, which is going to utilize, again, your guys' amazing PeakO2. And this is hands down the best formulated intra-workout product you've ever seen. So, I mean, this is a product that Anabolic State's actually been our flagship product for the past over a decade. It actually won Gold Overall Product of the Year 2 out of the last 3 years at the #1 retailer here in Canada, Popeye Supplements, 160 stores. So, we knew that in order to, come out with a new elite formula, it had to really wow. And this formula, I'm not going to divulge it today, but it's as good as you think it is. So that one, we just got our NPN. We're starting production. You can look for that one to actually hit stores, probably about 8 weeks. So yeah, I mean, we're really proud of what we've got coming. And, we wouldn't be where we are today without the good fellows from Compound Solutions. So, we appreciate each of you. We appreciate Matt. We appreciate your guys' innovation and what you bring to the industry. And I think that's for a lot of brands but wouldn't be where they are without what you guys do. So hats off to you guys. We appreciate the partnership and we look forward to, many new innovative and disruptive products together.
Definitely coming from you, it is, it's got a lot of weight to it. So we really appreciate that. I think you kind of solidified. We're probably going to be seeing you again in 8 weeks because I know we got to do a tasting room for that Anabolic State Elite. I mean, you kidding me? I know the guys would too, right? So
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this special CSI Tasting Room. Once again, a massive thank you to co-CEO, co-founder of Nutrabolics, dropping in their XCEED with a special twist on this episode. You all, we will see you on the next tasting room.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
You guys.
Take good care.